Okay, hi, good afternoon, sir. My name is Parminder. So today I'll be presenting on occupational safety and health in the online food delivery industry. So my presentation today will highlight about the challenges faced by food delivery riders, the existing OSH policies, the strength and weaknesses of the OSH policy, and the strategies can be used for improvement. So first we'll have a look at the introduction part. For the intro, I would say that the online food delivery nowadays has actually experienced a rapid growth, especially in urban areas. So, with this growth, food delivery riders also face numerous occupational hazards. Example like road accident, long working hours, and exposure to harsh weather condition. So, given this risk, implementing strong OSH policy is actually essential to ensure the riders' safety, compliance, and the overall sustainability of the industry itself. So next, we will move on to the current OSH policies and strategies. Okay, in Malaysia, the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1994 actually governs workplace safety. So including for the online food delivery sector as well. And we can say that under this law, employers must provide rider with safety training and protective gear, example like helmet and reflective vests that they can use during nighttime. So riders are also expected to follow traffic laws while making deliveries. However, despite having this regulation, many challenges still remain in enforcing safety measurements effectively among the riders itself. So next we'll move on the of strength and weaknesses of OSH practices. Okay, for the strength, I would say there are several positive aspects of OSH practices in the online food delivery industry. Firstly, we can see that the OSH Act of 1994, it provides a strong regulatory framework that clearly defines safety responsibility for the both side employers and employees. And second, we will see about the awareness program. Example like having a safety workshop and training session, it can actually help to educate the riders on the road hazards itself. And some companies like Foodpanda and Grab itself, they have taken the initiative to provide safety equipment for their riders. And lastly, I would say the growing focus on rider safety within the industry actually indicates a shift towards improved safety culture. Despite that, we still have a few issues or challenges or gap that we have to identify and find a solution that we can improve more on that. So next, we'll move on to the weaknesses of OSH practices. So as I said just now, no matter how many strengths that we have in the practices, we also have notable weaknesses in the current OSH practices. So despite having this regulation, many riders still do not comply with the safety measurements due to the time pressure and customer demands. This one I would put an example like Pizza Hut. They have a rule of delivering food within 15 minutes or else the food will be considered as free. So which will be a pressure for the delivery person in charge for the food or for the industry name Pizza Hut, because they have to deliver the food within 15 minutes or else they will be charged on behalf of the customer. So this is what they mean by riders do not comply with the safety measurements due to the time pressure and customer demand. We also can say that inadequate training is also another major issue, as many riders do not receive proper guidance on how to navigate real world traffic situation. And we can also say that the competitive nature of food delivery services, it forces the riders to prioritize speed over safety, which increase the risk of accident itself. So next here we'll talk about the real world example. Okay, this real world example is about a company that implement a few like a new kind of policy for their riders. So that's a very good example of a company addressing this issue, which is Food Panda Malaysia. They actually partnered with Policy Street to introduce Protect Plus insurance. Okay, this Protect Plus insurance initiative provides a 24/7 global accident coverage for the riders and also their families, unlike standard insurance plan that only cover working hours. So by offering extended financial protection like this program, it actually helps to fill a significant gap in the rider safety and their well-being itself. And next, we'll have a look at the identification of gaps and challenges. Okay, so despite some improvements, there are still major gaps that remain in OSH implementation for delivery riders. So one key issue is that the lack of comprehensive safety laws tailored to the gig workers who often lack employer sponsored benefit. So there are many riders out there who are actually uninsured, making them financially vulnerable in case of accidents. So we can say that In the other hand, there's also another reason, which is psychological stress caused by the job insecurity, and demanding workloads is also a very very overlooked challenge for the rider, and it actually leads to a negative impact for the rider's well-being. So next here we'll discuss on the proposed strategy for the improvement. Sorry. Okay, so the proposed strategy, I would say that to improve the OSH in the online food delivery sector, there are three key strategies that they can use. The first one is that companies should implement comprehensive safety training program that focus on real world traffic scenario and emergency responses, where they can train their rider on it. And secondly, they can use technology for real time safety monitoring. Example like having a GPS tracking and accident reporting apps that can actually help to identify and mitigate the risk itself. And lastly, I would say they can introduce health and wellness program that focus on mental and physical well-being of the riders itself, where they can help to support the riders in a way of maintaining their physical and mental health stable, and help to reduce their work-related stress itself. So for the conclusion here, we can conclude that occupational safety and health is the critical issue in the online food delivery industry. While having existing policies that provide a foundation for safety, there's actually still there are a few challenges in enforcement, training, and rider welfare that have to be looked in. And by implementing more effective training program, leveraging technology, and also prioritizing the rider well-being, we can actually create a safer and more sustainable working environment for food delivery riders. So that's all good. That is all for my presentation today. Thank you for your time, and thank you, sir.